Welcome to week 4. I can't believe we're on week 4, guys, of Saturday Nerd Talks. I'm James with ZeroDayJames. Right here, I got my boy Pat.
Oh yeah, this is InfoSec Pat. Welcome, and I guess this week we're going to be talking about different certifications such as CEH, OSCP, LPT, different certs, and we'll get into it in a sec. Here's Dion.
Hello guys, welcome back. Yeah, mindfucker here. So I'm gonna pass to Adlene.
Yeah, Hack here, and I'm the absolute beginners in certifications. So, what's next?
Sweet, thanks, guys. Okay, yeah. So it looks like we're going to be talking about some certs that I definitely don't have. Adlene was wondering for what OSCP, CEH, different penetration testing sort of certifications that Pat's got. I don't know if you guys want to start with like a weekly check-in. What you guys been up to this last week since we last spoke? What have you been doing, Pat?
Me? I was messing around with the phone split. I'm really enjoying that thing.
A little bit more of the phone split?
Yeah, and now I'm actually, I tested it, and I'll keep it at that, and it works.
It does work.
Solid?
Huh?
It's solid?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Without root, huh?
Huh?
It does work without root.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. And then outside of that, doing some of my day-to-day stuff, VMware, I just deployed a new data center, set up some new SANs, and yeah, that's off the topic of InfoSec, but I do quite a bit of different kind of technology. So, yeah.
Did you get any other videos ready since then?
On my personal stuff?
Oh yeah, on your channel.
Yes, I put one out doing some, I added to my Microsoft, the Windows Server 2019 playlist, doing some Active Directory users and groups. And I'm going to be deploying, setting up this, this week, I'm moving. Obviously, you guys probably seen the back. I don't have my wall of fame. But yeah, I'm moving. So, but I've been requested to how to deploy map drives, right? You have your network drives, your Z drive, whatever drive letter you have. And how do I automate that? Right? Instead of going right click on my computer, go to map a drive, go to whack the UNC path. I want to go ahead and just automate this. We can do that with group policy. We can do that in Active Directory. So I'm going to be putting a video out to add on to my playlist. Yep.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. Dion, what about you? What have you been doing?
Tried some hack the box lately.
Hack the box?
Yeah, man. I thought it was easy, but no, it's not. I've been busy for about 6 hours, and I just figured it out how. So yeah. I'm not finished yet, but I'm gonna do it this weekend. I'm gonna finish it this weekend, definitely.
Cool.
He got pissed off because they said he needed a VM to run Hack the Box.
Yeah,
what's the problem, huh?
I'm gonna block you. I'm gonna block you. How can I mute him?
It's because you weren't using a VM, Dion. Come on.
Yeah, VMs are.
Yeah, VMs are good for you guys, but not for me.
But yeah, so Hack the Box. For the people that don't know what Hack the Box is, what is Hack the Box?
It's an online pen testing platform to test your skills. Yeah, I think I said it.
Test and grow skills. It's basically a bunch of CTFs platform.
But what is it?
Yeah,
CTF?
exactly.
Yeah, what's the CTF? So like what? Like in other words,
what that is.
Like what tools do you have to use? What like networks do you have to get into? What do you even have to do in order to hack a so-called bot?
Basically, it depends. It really depends on the CTF itself.
There's definitely Nmap.
Nmap, oh yeah, you need Nmap.
Cryptographic CTFs, there's network CTFs. Yeah, so you're basically prompted with an IP address, and you have to scan for open ports, find the door, and there's a flag that you have to catch. So the flag may be a serial number, code name, a file, or something like that. And you have to identify the flag and catch it, and you're done with the CTF.
Yep.
Yeah, perfectly
cool.
Explained.
Yeah,
that's
Hack the
one
Box
I've never tried before.
Hack the Box is a good one. It's not as easy as it, I've tried it, I failed I think when I was doing my OSCP, and I have to thank Dion. Dion actually helped me do that. Do you remember? That's when I think we first started talking.
Oh yeah, that I think.
Yeah, and you got
Yeah,
it.
I think it was you.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
another awesome site that I like is VulnHub. Obviously, that is with VMs. You download an OVA, you download your VirtualBox, and
Mm-hmm.
you have a walkthrough of the different kind of, and you have hack this
Hack
site.
this site. Yeah, I think that one is the same as Hack the Box, but
Yeah,
then with step-for-step explanation what you have to do.
exactly. And
Oh,
that's
that
more,
is cool.
I think Hack the
Yeah.
Box has more real life kind of things versus like Hack this site is more like web application,
Yeah.
different.
Correct. Yeah.
And then you have hack try to hack or something, try to hack me.
Try Hack Me. Yeah,
Try
Hack
hack
Me.
me. Yeah, try hack me.
Hack me.
Um,
This one's not free, I think.
yeah, it's
I don't know.
Yeah, try hack me. Oh my god, I can't even spell. Yeah, hacking training is tryhackme.com. It's from like an English kid that just I don't know, him and a co-founder, one of his mates, and it's pretty cool. I have it. I messed around with it, and some pretty cool stuff. But yeah, so go ahead, go on then, mate.
So I think if you were really at the beginning, I think Hack This Site is better than Hack the Box.
Just because it has that step by step of what to
Yeah,
do.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I even need it too.
So what is hack the site? Is it like, are you using like cross-site scripting, SQL injection, that sort of thing, or?
I haven't tried it yet. I just heard about it, but yeah, it's like how you call that? Yeah, it's basically Hack the Box. You have strategies, what you have to do, and yeah.
I'm not sure for
but
I'm not sure for the cross-site scripting because these are somehow of social engineering attack. It got its technical part where you have to find the script, the crack, and build the script and everything, but you have to attack somebody with it to have results. You cannot use cross-site scripting on something fully automatic or into a network or something.
Right.
It's more of networks attack. Your main tool is Nmap. I'm talking like an expert, but I really never did some CTFs. The only one I think I did was in university a bunch of years ago.
But
it was a total mess. So, and I'm not sure of this, but I think in Hack the Box, you're not the only one into that VM.
No.
So yeah, there's more people into the same IP doing their things. So you may fall into other guys' scripts and everything.
Exactly. And to answer what James was saying, I think Hack This Site is a preliminary prior to even entering Hack the Box. Because Hack the Box, you have to hack your way in. Hack This Site is like you sign up. You just sign up and put username, password, and you're in. It's not like you have to hack your way in. Like with Hack the Box, you actually have to, right click and look at the source code and go through some shit and, go through this whole hacking your way in.
Inspect element, decrypt the base 64. It's cool. Yeah, you literally have to hack your way in.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to check this out.
And those are really difficult. I remember I saw a video. It was on Instagram about the guy that found the flag into the NTLM hash of Windows. And that was, I was like, oh, this man cracked the NTLM hash of Windows to find the an HTML URL. And when he clicked on it, you got that flag. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, it's cool. It could be easy, and sometimes it takes a little longer.
Yeah.
So what else? What else is?
All right, Adlene. Yeah. What about you? What have you been up to last week?
I'm still on Docker, but for this time, I tried to deploy Rocket Chat. I don't know if you know Rocket Chat. It's an open source platform for chatting like Discord and everything. But this one, you can deploy it into your local network. And the deployment was absolutely easy. to do with Docker. And I think it may be really useful when you're hacking in team and you're into the same local network. It may be great to have a personal chat that has end-to-end encryption and doesn't go out of the 480 TCP and goes over the internet. It's still into your local network, so you're the only one that can know what happens there.
Cool. And have you ever hacked a Discord channel?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever hacked a Discord channel?
I never did that. Not yet.
Hey Pat, what's up with your connection, bro? You're starting to get a little choppy over here.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pat, you're slacking again.
You're literally
You're the one who's slacking.
Yeah.
James isn't slacking anymore.
Yeah, I'm off that VPN, so.
Oh.
I don't use VPN. I'm not scared of the world.
I think we should jump into the topic and tell people that we have a Discord server and they can join. Just send an Instagram message for invitation link.
Yeah, guys, break it down for us. Break it down.
Yeah.
Break it down the topic. What are we talking about today?
And put the link into the description.
Yeah, so he's talking about something else.
I always wanted to say that.
All right, Adlene's talking about the Discord channel. So we have a Discord that we are doing IT certification chats and just talk about anything that you want to learn about technology. If we, one big community, let's just, help each other. And James is talking about
certifications.
Exactly. And then James is talking about what are we going to converse about today? What are we going to talk about? So when we're talking about some entry-level certifications to advanced certifications and which ones to tackle being an entry-level InfoSec person, right? In my opinion, we were going to cover the CEH and the OSCP, but prior to even CEH, it is a pretty entry-level cert. But I think even before that, you can get like your Security Plus. And even before that, you can do like Network Plus, because how can you understand about fundamental traversity of networking when you don't understand basic TCP, UDP traffic, or layer 1, layer 2, layer 3 stuff, and how basic connectivity, what is a port, what is DNS, what is these things actually, how they work. So how can you hack, or how can you run an Nmap, Nmap-P53 when you don't even know DNS runs on port 53,
right? Yeah.
So I think we're going to cover some high-level stuff, and maybe, depending on these guys, what they really want to get into, what questions they have. I have all the certifications that I just mentioned. I have my Network Plus, Security Plus. I have a few under my belt. So Adlene wants to understand and know which ones. I think getting your Security Plus first, prior to CEH, will be a little more beneficial. And if you have your basic understanding of networking, don't spend $300-400 on an exam when you understand all the networking. If you have your basic networking, I would go for a CCNA versus a Network Plus. That's just me. Then go into your CEH and then go into your OSCP, or even
of course.
OSCP, you can do ECSA, LPT, license penetration tester from EC console, and then you can do other ones too, like certified hacking forensics investigator. Like I have that. That's a pretty cool one if you want to learn about digital forensics and case studies and all the cool stuff. And then the OSCP is actually physical, like your hacking systems, right? So the OSCP is a 48-hour exam. They say 24 hours, but it's technically 48 because you have 5 machines to hack to get root access. Obviously, I don't want to put out any NDAs or whatever like that, but you have 5 machines to hack, and then the next 24 hours you have to write a penetration testing report about your findings. You submit it to Offensive Security, and then they go about, and you just keep your fingers crossed and pray, and hopefully you get the email saying congratulations versus wah, wah, wah. And so things like different resources that I used. I didn't know about Hack the Box back then because I was more networking, pen testing, system pen testing, never really, buffer overflows and SQL injections and doing all the stuff that I needed to try to understand for the PWK or the offensive security course. I did mine for 3 months. There's, I think, 3 months, 6 months, for your training. You can use that. It's awesome. But if you know your stuff, I didn't understand how the exam was going to be presented. So obviously I did my due diligence and did the research, and I used VulnHub. I downloaded some vulnerability systems. I used Metasploitable 2 to brush up on my Linux pen testing, because a lot of my pen testing was more network based, intruding through your firewall, getting into your systems like that, trying to do sneaky scans with Nmap, and and you can talk on the Discord channel about different tools and different stuff. I don't want to take everyone's time, but so that's pretty much how I would approach that situation, in that exam. Learn about Hack the Box, learn about these VMs, because they're definitely, you can even like Google like OSCP Hack the Box machines, and you have different machines listed. Obviously you have to hack your way in first. You can't just download these VMs and do what you're going to be getting onto their servers. And that's the way I approached it. It was a very difficult exam for me. It was tough. I didn't think I was going to pass. I want to be 100% honest. I didn't think it was going to be a walk in the park, because I wasn't hacking every day. I was more a networking guy, Cisco, routing, switching, firewalls, and stuff like that, not really in a Linux, terminal every day, blah, blah, blah. So it was tough. And, with the cool community that we have, I was able to get some tools from different people to learn about different techniques. And there you go. Now I have the OSCP.
Nice, man.
Yeah. So I think it's obvious that you first have to learn how things works to learn how to penetrate them. So it's very important, like you said, to have your CCNA and know how networking works, etc., to go for security certifications.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Okay. So let's say I have those certifications and I don't know which one to take first. Let's say I have a limited budget.
Mm-hmm.
I can only invest in OSCP or CEH now. Which one should I go first for?
That's a good question. And that's a difficult question to answer because, and I'll explain why. So if you're on a limited budget, obviously, think about this. OSCP is still a brand new exam, right? So if you're trying to get employment, right? A lot of people don't know the OSCP unless you're in the InfoSec community. HR doesn't know it. They know the certified threat hacker. CEH holds value more for employment. But for bragging rights, OSCP blows out of the water, right? Obviously, that's an obvious. But like as far as, when you get your CEH, now you have DoD clearance.
Okay.
So that's something, if I was on a limited budget and if I was like, okay, I want to go get a job as an entry-level pen tester or, a SOC analyst, etc., I would go for my CEH. And then once I get that money to go get the OSCP, and then I would go that route. But my first exam, even if they're, $1,000 here, $1,000 here, I would go use that $1,000 to go for my CEH, because I'll make more money in the sense, unless like I have a job that they say, oh, you're going to make X amount of dollars if you have your OSCP.
Okay.
Like it all depends on the approach that you want to take. And that's the way I would do it.
Okay. And that answers my next question. I was about to ask if, let's say I have my CEH, so should I go for OSCP or not? And if I have my OSCP, should I get my CEH? So people with OSCP should probably get the CEH to find more jobs and etc.
Yes. And I've heard this from many people. They poop on the CEH, right? They say it's like a rubbish exam. It doesn't really teach you much. That's true. That's true. You're not going to come out with a CEH thinking you're anonymous, right? No.
Okay.
You
don't get the mask at the end of the exam.
Yeah, exactly. Like, congratulations. We all
Damn it.
Dion, out.
Yeah. I'm out here.
Yeah.
So I think that's the route I would take. I would do your CEH, but if you had your OSCP, would you take your CEH?
Yeah.
that's a question for only you can answer, right? Because like I've said this in many videos ago, like my whole certification journey was that shit backwards, you know? Yeah.
Okay.
I did my MCSE was one of my first exams. And if you have your quote unquote, it's like saying, oh, I have a CCIE, let me go get a CCNA, right? So like, maybe not that, but like, oh, I have a CCIE, let me go get my Network Plus, right? CCIE is like the top level of Cisco. No, actually they have one more up, but then you have CCDE. But with your when I did my MCSE, you know, I took 7 exams. I have my Microsoft Certified System Engineer, but then I went to go take my A+ Network Plus. So I did a little, you know, people say go do A+ Network Plus, Security Plus, maybe Linux Plus, and then go into like a vendor, right? VMware, Citrix, Cisco, Microsoft, blah, 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 whatever other, you know, EC Console or IC Square for CISSP or whatever other certifications that you want to do. But that's the way I would do it. If I was to do it all over again, I wouldn't have taken my MCSE first because, yeah, I know Active Directory, I know this, but I don't know the difference between DIM and RIM or memory, you know? So, yeah. So I did it a little backwards.
Okay. So my next question is about the certificate ethical hacker. You know, it's just a curiosity, but I wonder what the ethical is in there. Do you learn about ethics, or is that a pure technical exams? Or
that's a good question.
I think it's more theory. It's not a very technical exam. There's technical aspects, of course, but it's not like there's no labs. You're not going in and hacking anything. It's 125 question multiple choice exam. That's what I did.
Okay.
I think now the CEH is up to V10, right? Version 10. I took my CEH in V8. So version 8 is the CEH I have. CHFI I have. Everything is on version 8. So I took my Certified Ethical Hacker exam in 2013. So 7 years ago I took my exam. So it was quite a while ago. And so it's, yeah, the ethics, the ethical, I think they just say that because you can't say you're a certified hacker. It's like, you know, like you have to throw that ethical in there. So it's like, okay, I'm ethical.
I was wondering how they can judge the ethics. So.
Exactly. I think it's more of just like a terminology to throw in there so you don't get in trouble.
Okay.
Is there expiration date on your exam?
Yeah, 3 years.
Oh,
every 3 years you have to renew it. Yeah. I just renewed mine, so mine's good until 2023.
What is the process of renewing? What does that entail?
What?
What is the process of renewing? Like, what does that entail?
Oh, it's very simple. You just go onto EC Console and you just get continue education course and just do a continue education course. You get a few, it's like I guess like now you have your A+ Network Plus Security Plus, you have the little CE behind it, right? Continue education.
Like, yeah, so every time when I passed my Network Plus, it renewed my A+. When I passed my A+, it renewed all of them.
Exactly.
Okay.
A lot of vendors are going that route. Like if you
so do you have to actually or like
no, you don't have to do an exam. I don't have to do an exam.
Okay. You just have to do like a continuing education course.
Course, yeah.
I'm pretty sure CompTIA offers those as well. But if you're working on another certification, might as well do that because it's going to renew your other ones.
Exactly.
Anyway.
That's how Cisco does it. You know, if you have your CCNA, you go in for your CCNP, or for your CCIE, you renew your CCIE. Everything that resides under it is renewed.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah.
I think I'm done with my questions.
James, you have any questions?
Whatever,
Cisco.
So I mean, as far as the CEH OSCP, I heard the same things, that the CEH it wasn't very in depth. It's more surface level stuff, but it does hold a lot of weight as far as getting hired. Like you said, you need that in order to work at the DoD, things like that. I actually have a friend that I think was working on his just so that he could start working there for some government jobs. But again, the OSCP is more in depth, and you'll come out of there with that mask that Dion's looking for. So
yes. Exactly. No, totally. And yeah, if you want that mask and you want to understand the real, but obviously the OSCP is hard. Like I have more of acquaintances on LinkedIn. I forget his name. John. Uh-oh. 10
Don't.
minutes. And John Hamilton. I forget his name. I have to look him up. And he went from like OSCP to OSCW, OSCE, like, and he's a young kid. He's probably like 25, 26 years old. And that kid is like, he's killing it. That kid is really intelligent. And yeah, it's like he went from like 0 to hero, like quick.
So he's writing Hero Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hear that, James?
I know. I need a.
ZeroDayJames.
ZeroDayJames. You better write some ZeroDays.
I need to back up this handle that I got going here, dude.
0 day.
Okay, so I have a couple more questions. So the route that I took, just like you were talking about, was I got my A+, I got my Network Plus, I got my Security Plus, and just like you were saying, each exam before the next one was like all supplemented the next one. Like everything I learned in the A+ was drastically helpful to my Network Plus. Same thing getting my Security Plus. All those like how the networks work and the ports and protocols, that like I needed that for my Security Plus. And I got suggested by you to start working on my CCNA, so that's what I'm doing now. And that's mostly because it holds a lot of weight. So I don't have a job in IT yet, and that's why I wanted to start working on my CCNA, because I know that it holds weight as far as like HR and stuff like that. So if I were to go from here, what do you think? And if I'm looking to get into like penetration testing, I know that there was one that I was looking at. I think it is EC Council. I forgot exactly what the certification is. I know Heath was talking about it.
Oh, I think he was talking about e-learning.
Yeah, was that what it was?
Yeah, it might be e-learning. The e-learning pen tester, or EPT or something like that. EPT or something like that. Yeah, I never looked into their exams. I never looked into their site. I never looked into their stuff, because obviously my job every day is not a pen tester, right? Like I'm not working for a company that I'm hacking all day. You know, I work for a company right now that I do infrastructure all day. I do routers and firewalls and setting up network attached storage and setting up LUNs and setting up storage, which, you know, Kenny's going to be on next week. So he'll talk about his data center stuff. But that kind of stuff is what I'm doing now. And I love it. I love all the aspects, but you know, the pen testing stuff is cool and stuff like that. But I still, my meat and potatoes is more on the infrastructure stuff. So that's where I don't think I can ever let that go. Like, let's do that. I want to be a pen tester my whole life. I don't see that ever happening. Just because I can't let cloud go away. I have AWS certs and doing Azure and doing all these cool things. It's like, and just enjoy it. But yeah, so CCNA to where you would go from here, that all depends on your route, right? If you want to be a pen tester, if you want to get into that and say, you know, there's, you know, the CEH, the OSCP, there's CISSP, you know, there's SSCP, there's, you know, different routes you can go. It depends on what your ultimate goal is, right? Like, you want to be an engineer your whole life, or do you want to say, okay, I want to be an engineer for 5 years and then move up into management? Because management, you need CISSP. You might need a bachelor's degree. You know, there's different avenues to go down once you get into different levels in your career. I'm not saying.
And I heard that for the CISSP, there's two different exams, one for management and one more for technical?
It's one exam. One exam. It's 250 questions, at least when I took it. It's 250 questions, and it's not a hacking exam. You're not hacking stuff. It's like more like disaster recovery, BCP planning. You know, if I have a pole outside my, outside my building, and I don't remember. It was like so long ago. I forgot when I took it. I took it when I was in grad school. Yeah, that's not like, that's more of a management certification. Like, okay. Yeah.
And that's more high level up anyway. I think one of the prerequisites is like 5 years of experience.
Yeah, you have to have 5 years, and you have to have a sponsor.
Okay. Like a company to sponsor you in.
Exactly. To say, okay, he did pen testing, he did security. It's not only pen testing, because when I did it, my professor actually wrote off on mine. And I was working for a company, and yes, I was doing, every company you're going to work for, you're going to do security, even if you do NTFS permissions. If you right click on a folder and you go to security and you say, okay, I only want James to access this folder, and Dion you try to access, you're going to get access denied. That's some type of security. That's a security measure. And people don't realize that. People think security is like, oh, I want to hack the world. You know what I mean? Security is a biometric system, a key fob system. You know what I mean? Physical.
And that's why when I was taking my Security Plus, like, yeah, you learn about door locks is a chapter in the Security Plus, like physical security.
Yep.
All of that stuff is
Yeah, it is.
So Dion, you have any questions?
Not about certifications. I was wondering how James figured out this power over internet.
Oh yeah, I was talking about that last week. That was like the last thing left. I mean, I said it's probably the last thing left, but I already know there's gonna be many more obstacles in this damn lab behind me. But
yeah,
yeah. So I typed in all those commands. I couldn't figure it out in the Cisco terminal. It turns out that these devices are not even capable of power over Ethernet. So, which is cool because I mean, while I had to throw a little bit more money into it, I ordered a PoE injector. And I got empowered. Check it out. See that blinking light? You see that? That means it's on.
Oh, nice.
So yeah. So yeah, I've just been messing around this last week. I've been configuring them. I actually configured all of them. I got the host names renamed. I got banners, logon banners set up for them, and passwords set up for them for both the virtual terminal and the console port. And then I turned them all off.
And can I? If obviously among us, but when you want to converse with someone about that, you say, when you say virtual, yeah, because it's the VTY, right?
Yeah.
But it's more of like the SSH session.
Okay.
Yeah, because then you.
I've only set up the logons for it. I haven't even actually like SSH'd into it yet. I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, because remember you have to create your SHA, you know, your key. The key to when you hit enter, it generates that key.
Yeah.
RSA, I think. I haven't done this in a long time.
The Ron cipher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's stuff I learned in my Security Plus as well. Yeah, but yeah, so I got it working. Hopefully
that's cool.
More lessons. But yeah, so I configured everything and I turned them off, like all the power, and then I turned it back on and lost all of my configurations.
You didn't do it right? You didn't forget to save your configs?
Nothing saved?
So, but it's cool. No, honestly, like it took me a long time to get them all configured the first time, but I was going through last night and I'm like starting to get really quick in that terminal. So I'm kind of glad to do it again. And I don't even have to refer to my commands because I got them memorized. So
yeah,
good stuff.
I config T. It's based all over.
Yeah. That's like the number one that I have to get into all of these.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got a little less than 2 minutes left.
Bye.
So yeah, so I guess my last question would be to James. Like, okay, you work on your CCNA, you have this cool lab. What is your next step after you take your CCNA? And do you have an exam date for your CCNA?
So I don't even want to think about what's next because I just want to get this one done. Which is weird because all the other ones I always did know my next step. So that's something I do need to put more thought into. I thought that I was going to have earned my CCNA at this point, like this year already. This year's been crazy, so I haven't been able to, but I need to schedule a date. So I would say in the next month or two, I'll have my CCNA and continue to be applying like simultaneously to jobs while I'm studying for it. I don't want to wait until I get it and then start applying. You know what I mean? I want to be able to do it together. So
cool.
After this, I don't know what's next. We'll see. We'll probably have another conversation with you, start a video, get some viewers, and then we'll decide.
All right. Yeah. So this pretty much wraps this up. I really appreciate this. Is week 4. Tune in for next time, and hopefully we can get this thing trying to do live. I really want to have this live.
Yeah, we should do that.
Maybe one day when we figure it out, we can put all our 4 brains together and.
Yeah, between us 4, someone could figure out how to do live streaming on YouTube. So, yeah, if there's anybody that wants to come on with us, anybody that's watching, we've been hitting up people on Instagram. There's some people. We got your friend Kenny coming on next week with us, and there's a few of our other friends that in the near future will be coming on. So I mean, if you think this week looks like the Brady Bunch, just just watch. Like we're